This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we have a Miele dishwasher where we can hear the circulation motor start and then run for maybe 10 seconds, then stop, and then run for 10 seconds, then stop, then run, then stop, and then finally it shows a intake drain error code. And this could be that the capacitors that are used in the machine are just getting old. So we ordered a couple of new capacitors. There's one that goes on the motor, and there's one that goes near the front, and we're going to be replacing them both. Sometimes when the capacitors get weak, they're not able to keep the motor going consistently, or the motor has trouble starting. So this one is one that goes with the power cord. We're going to just go ahead and use the old power cord, so I'm going to take off this new cord that comes with it so I can use just the capacitor. The capacitor is the round part, and you got to be a little bit careful with these that you don't touch the metal terminals at the end. This one's not charged up because it's brand new, but ones that have been plugged in, they can carry a fair amount of voltage that can hurt you. This little nut that holds it on. So to get the current out of a capacitor, just take a standard head screwdriver. Here's the part number for the capacitor that goes on the motor. Just take a standard head screwdriver and connect the two terminals, and that'll ground out the capacitor, and then it's safe to hold. But be careful that you don't touch the terminals on the ones that had been plugged in before, because they're holding a lot of energy. So we're taking all the water. We got the dishwasher unplugged. We're taking all the water out of the sump. And then I'm also going to let some of the water come out of the one-way valve that's over to my left inside the sump. I'm going to grab that one-way valve and pull it to the right slightly to let more water come out of the drain tube. And then I'll do the same thing. I'll just get all that water out using a turkey baster. And then when I turn the machine on its side, you won't have hardly any water leaking on your kitchen floor. So we got it unplugged. We're leaving it still connected to the fill valve and still connected to the drain line, because typically the Miele dishwashers have such long lines that you can pull them out of the cabinet without having to disconnect. So I'm taking the screws out of the top. I'm going to also take these little feet at the bottom, and I'm going to adjust them so that they go in toward the dishwasher, so that lowers the front of the dishwasher. That's going to help me to get it out of the cabinet. You can use a tool to do that, or just use your hands. Make sure I got those screws out. They're at the top. They're usually Phillips head screws. Then I'm going to wiggle the dishwasher out away from the cabinet. I'll close the door. I'm going to carefully lay it on its side. I got to make sure that I'm not pulling on any of the two hoses in the back. There's the intake hose and the drain hose. I got to make sure that they're not being pulled around. This drain hose was being held up, so I'm going to loosen that to give it a little bit more length. That's going to allow me to get the dishwasher on its side. If I can get it on its side, I can take off the bottom panel, and then I'm going to have good access to those two capacitors. Again, one's connected to the motor, and one is connected near the front to the power cord. I'm using a Torx 15 bit to take off two screws in the front so I can remove the bottom panel. And then there's two screws on the bottom that you take out, and the bottom panel comes right off. We call it a drip panel. If you notice that the drip panel's wet, that's not good, because that means you have some component leaking. Usually it's a part called the partition that's part of the circulation motor. This one looks good though. It's bone dry. You can see that there probably was a leak at one time. And now I'm removing this front panel. It's two Torx 15 screws, so I have better access to the capacitor in the front. The main one that we're dealing with is the one on the motor, but I like to replace both of them at the same time. They're pretty cheap. So I'm going to use a standard head screwdriver to go between the two terminals, and that'll get rid of the danger of getting shocked. And then I'll use some pliers or a screwdriver to pry off the two spade connectors, and then I'm going to undo the nut on the top, and then I can just take that old one right out. And I'll put in the new one in reverse order. I'll tighten up that nut, and then there's going to be one also attached to the motor, and I just got to make sure that I do the same process. It has a nut that you undo, get it in position. Here's the old one right next to the new one. And then once you've got those all connected, you put the bottom panel back on, get it back on its feet, and get it all plugged in. And you should notice that the circulation motor will run for longer periods of time and not cut out. And that will keep you from having to replace the motor. The motors are really expensive, but the capacitors are pretty cheap. And usually it's not the motor, it's the capacitor. So I hope that's been helpful to you, and please subscribe to our channel when you get a chance. And thanks for watching.